Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video, and today we're gonna be doing the Week 7 predictions. Um, and again, the Reigning 48 is back this week to do the predictions. How are you doing, man?
I'm alive. That is all. Sorry, I wanted a little bit of wrestling gimmick here. I know you and I are both wrestling fans. New Japan Pro Wrestler Hitori Shibata came back after 8 years of a severe neck injury where they thought he'd never walk again, but that was a Shibata line. I'm alive. That is all.
Yep. So we'll briefly talk about last night's game. Well, at the time of this recording. Which
Are we talking about it because you want to brag?
Well, no. It's just because we always talk about it anyways. Talk about the Thursday night game anyways. The Broncos at the Browns. Browns won. It's a very, very simple game, I thought, the way the game went, and ended up being a 3-point game, but the Browns felt like they dominated the game despite not having most of their starters in the game.
Well, they re-injured two starters. They had one who's out who has to get surgery at the end of the year, and they're missing two running backs. So I wouldn't say dominate because they did win without any of the five key players.
Yep, and Johnson did really good, which I'm very happy for because he's on my fantasy league.
Did you know the story of DeErnest Johnson?
What's up?
Did you know the story of DeErnest Johnson?
Wasn't he like a Fisher or something?
Well, beyond that, so I found this out the other day. He was an undrafted free agent, signed with the Saints a couple years back. When he got caught by the Saints, he sent an Instagram message to every team in the AAF. Do you remember when the AAF was a thing about 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Yep.
And got signed on to the Orlando team, I believe it was, and absolutely destroyed it in that league. He was phenomenal. And that was really his breakout to bring him back to the NFL. So it's another guy with a great story. Good for him. I didn't see it coming because Denver has a very good defense. Yeah. But, it paid dividends for you, didn't it?
Yeah, I signed him because there was a lot of buzz about him doing something, so I got him off the waiver wire, but I didn't know for sure if I should start him or not, or have him as a flex. And that's why I kind of asked you, like, hey, should I put him out, or what should I do with this? I was still on the fence. And I ended up paying dividends to put him out there.
Did you end up benching Zach Ertz?
Yes, I did. I put him as one of my main running backs, and I got him as the flex.
So here's, I guess, the most dangerous thing. Before we get into it, Zach Ertz has one of the best matchups this week. But the thing you've got to remember if you're looking at ceiling and floor of fantasy, you're putting Zach Ertz into an offense that he's never been in before. Yes, he could potentially have a touchdown and, okay, cool, they broke coverage. But the chances of it being that he's going to be very active week one are very tough.
Yeah. And I need a win. I need a win after that terrible game last week. All my starters took laid an egg last week after a really good performance 2 weeks ago.
Hey, Frank, are you in first place anymore?
Not right now. I just wanted
to confirm.
I'm like in third, I think. Still, I think we're all tied.
You're in sixth.
Yeah, but we're all tied though. So
who's in first?
Yeah, right now you are.
I've been in first most of the year. You had one very good week, but I had a bad week, and that was the only week I lost. That's what slingshotted you ahead of me.
Yeah. Well, the best thing about it is, all that matters is once you get to the playoffs, that's where it counts.
Hey, man, if it weren't for Kenyon Drake running for 2 yards, I'd be 6-0 in this league.
Yep, that happens. That's just how it is when it comes to fantasy sometimes.
I've got one league that I'm 1-5, and it's one of my best leagues. The roster's phenomenal, and I can't catch a break.
Yep. But like I said, Browns won. Good win for them, especially to keep in pace with Baltimore right now. But we'll see where that goes with them. But nonetheless, the first matchup from the list actually is my team, which we got the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Reds franchise, or it's at the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. Packers are 8. We got 8 as favors. Unfortunately, we're going to be wearing the terrible Oregon jerseys that they claim is the 50s throwback jerseys, which they don't even look like the 50 throwback jerseys. So that's going to be the one thing that's going to really stink. But nonetheless, in terms of the product on the field, the Packers, I think, will destroy Washington team. I think we're gonna probably easily win this game. Washington looked really bad last week, and they got their own drama going on in itself. But I don't see them beating our team, even with our defense. Not that really the best. They might get maybe 2 touchdowns, I would say, on our team, but I think we're gonna probably beat them like 34-14.
I don't have that much faith in it because I talked to you last week and said, "Hey, Green Bay better be really good this week against the Bears," and they weren't. They did me very dirty. I have my own bone to pick with Devontae Adams. That's a whole other situation.
He got a touchdown.
However, he didn't get a
Oh
touchdown.
no, that was the week before. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of something else.
Devontae Adams still chirping and saying he's the best overall receiver in the league, and he got me a grand total of 11.5 points on FanDuel. It doesn't sound like the best to me.
Well, they're also covering him though too. They're putting a lot of the coverage on him.
Yeah, guess what? If you're the best receiver, it shouldn't matter. Tyreek Hill missed an entire quarter and still had 20 points on FanDuel last week. That to me is what irritates me. However, where we were going with this, I am a huge Washington supporter, and they have just become abysmal. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm not going to say it's close. We're going to call it 24-21 Green Bay.
Oh, you're gonna give me these close matches.
Heart attacks again, man, because here's the thing. Taylor Heineke has looked solid when he needs to.
That Bengals game.
I think he knew he was outnumbered in the Kansas City game. I don't know how to feel about any of this, though.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be one of those ugly games this week. I don't trust either team. When you expect them to really show up and blow up, they don't.
If Aaron Rodgers plays his game, that it's not going to even matter. But I hope it's not like that.
Aaron Rodgers played his game last week and screamed out, "I own you" to the Chicago team. It didn't mean that he did.
I was like, oh my god, I don't want to see another Bengals game again like that. But nonetheless, that's your prediction. And my prediction. But let's get to the next game. But go Pack Go. Anyways, next we have the Carolina Panthers at the New York Giants. The Panthers have a 3 favorite, only 3 solid favorite, in this game. And really, I mean, what can you really say? I mean, the Giants are crap. Panthers are kind of
missing their 3 starters.
Yeah, they're big. Saquon is out.
Saquon's out. Galladay's out.
And
I believe Kadarius Toney might also be out, but I will confirm that.
Yeah, so I mean, Panthers are kind of again a rebuilding team, but I think like against a team like the Giants, they should come out with the win. I'm gonna say that the Panthers are probably gonna win in a close. I'd say maybe like a 20-14 victory. I would say.
I'm going the complete opposite with here, Frank.
Yeah, what's up?
28-7 Carolina.
Okay.
I think this is that Carolina show-off game we've been looking for. I think Sam Darnold gets to have some revenge against another team he came out of. Granted, yes, he was with the Jets. But I don't trust the Giants, especially not without Saquon, not without any starting receivers, because it is any. They're still missing Sterling Shepard. They don't have Kadarius Toney, and Kadarius Toney to me is one of those guys. When we watch tape, he was one of my favorite receivers in the entire class. It took him a couple weeks to get acclimated, but so fantasy-wise, Frank, he had 7 points last week.
Yeah.
He got hurt in the first drive. He had 7 points on 3 catches for 40 yards in one drive. He's becoming the number 1 receiver there in New York. And they're missing him. They're missing Kenny Golladay, who's to go up and get a receiver. You're missing your top 3 weapons. Daniel Jones is not a bad quarterback.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I think Daniel Jones gets a bad rap. I think even with his draft day, he did.
He gets the absolute worst rep because there's nobody there to help him right now.
Well, but even on draft day, he was getting it bad. Like, people, said it was the worst pick ever.
He got a bad rep on draft day because he probably should have never been drafted that high. If we're being fair. 4th for him, or I believe 4th, something like that. That was a bit of a stretch.
But he was better than Hackins.
Well, that entire draft class. Guess what? That's the same as people giving shit to the Jets for Geno Smith. And EJ Manuel is no better. I mean, sometimes your draft class just isn't good.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's that game. Next is we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Miami Dolphins. And no, as of right now, Deshaun Watson is not on the Dolphins, despite everyone's rumors on this. So right now we got to go by what's going on the product of the field. And Atlanta Falcons have a 2-point favorite to win this game. And I believe the Falcons will win this game. I have zero confidence in the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are trash, and the fact that they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I believe will not win another game this year, tells you everything you need to know about the Miami Dolphins. I think the Atlanta Falcons will blow them out. I think it will be 30-0 a victory. I think the team is just terrible.
First and foremost, I think you are bagging on the Jaguars a little too much.
Well, but there was crap.
The Jags have had a bad string of luck. I think the Jaguars have a bad coach, not bad talent. If that talent can regain the team's going to be okay. And the fact that they won their first game without their number 1 receiver is pretty impressive. That being said, is Tua the perfect quarterback? No. Is Tua a great quarterback? No. Is Tua an all-right quarterback? Maybe. We saw flashes last week, and that's a guy who just sat on the shelf for 4 weeks. With cracked ribs. I don't know if you ever had a rib injury, Frank.
No.
It's not great. And the fact of it being whenever you move, when you move your shoulders, your upper arms,
absolutely.
your ribs hurt. So you're still going to be getting that lingering effect of the ribs.
Well, even before he had the rib injury, he wasn't playing that good.
He looked very good week 1. And then he, faced Buffalo.
Well, yeah.
And then he got a rib injury week 2. So
week 3.
He was no.
Oh no, that wasn't week 2. That was during the Bills.
He was out in the first quarter of week 2.
Yeah, you're right.
Dude didn't get the chance. And I'm not someone that wants to be a Tua supporter, but I think there's more to Tua than expected. Tua clicks very well with Jalen Waddle, which is another big thing to look at. I'm not choosing Miami here, but I'm not calling it a blowout. I'm going to call it 31-28 Atlanta.
Okay.
Both of these teams are porous. Both of these teams are looking for that offensive game that's going to finally...
Yeah, the edge that the Falcons really have is Matt Ryan. They have the quarterback.
I don't think it's Matt Ryan. I think it's... Matt Ryan's a smarter quarterback, although he's lost a step offensively. And Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts are better than Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki.
Okay, so the next game we have on the list here, we have the St. Louis Rams versus the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions at the LA Rams. The Fox betting odds actually has the Rams 16 points on the Lions, and I am not making that up.
I don't think you are.
So yeah, but to be fair though, the Lions have played like
The Lions have had bad luck.
They've had bad luck. Yeah, they're winless, but I wouldn't say that they're like a team that's going to go winless like the 08 Lions. They're definitely better than that team.
They're better than Jacksonville is this year and was last year. They're better than the winless Browns. They're a team.
They're better than their winless
and just
winless
has
team.
not been able to put it together.
Yeah. And of course, you know, the 66-yard field goal.
Dude, didn't I call that upset that week?
I don't remember. We have to look back on it now. But I think you did, but I don't know. But the Lions didn't win though, unfortunately. Because of that 66-yard field goal. I am going to give the Rams the victory here, but I think the game is going to be a lot closer than people suspect. I think it's going to be a touchdown game. I think it's going to be 34-28. I think the Lions are going to actually put some up and really surprise people, but in the end, I think the Rams will still get it done, and it will be just another case of bad luck as they've had all season, unfortunately. This won't be the week that they get it, but hopefully in the future they will.
I mean, I feel bad when I say this, because I have been a very big Lions supporter. I feel like that team is on the up and up. One of my favorite rookies out of the draft, Amon-Ra St. Brown, is finally starting to tune up, but he's the only offer they have to throw at. But I think it's going to be 42-17 Rams.
Oh, wow.
Dude, it's Matt Stafford's revenge game. I get it. It's also Jared Goff.
I mean, Jared Goff could do revenge, too, for this.
But that Rams defense has been scary. The Detroit defense is very ill-inspiring. It doesn't make me scared. Matt Stafford has been everything everybody said he hasn't and more. He's number 1 in touchdowns, I believe. He's number 2 in yards per attempt. Like, he's number 3 in yards overall. Like, he's been phenomenal. I don't think it's stopping here against the poor Detroit defense. Matt Stafford's throwing for 4 touchdowns this week. Guaranteed.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll have to hold you to that one if he doesn't get it.
I accept it, man. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
We'll see. It probably happened. Like I said, in my scenario, it's still a shootout. It's still possible for him to get 4 touchdowns. I got it just as a shootout for both of them. Going out there. But next we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Las Vegas Raiders. I almost screwed that up. And Las Vegas has 3 on the betting odds here, and you know, obviously the Raiders have gone through a lot of drama out of their control because of stuff that happened with the investigation for the Washington team, with the emails. They got a new coach in there. I already made the Gruden video on this channel. Everyone knows I don't condone what he said whatsoever. But nonetheless, despite what happened, they had a game against the Broncos, and I last week had said that I thought that the Broncos would win because of that whole debacle, and that was going to really hurt the psyche of the team. That didn't happen at all. The Raiders actually kicked their ass. It was the complete opposite. And
I don't think anybody saw that coming, though.
Yeah, I thought it was a complete opposite of what I thought was going to happen. But nonetheless, they played solid, and the Raiders look good again. And the Eagles are obviously struggling as a team with Justin Hurts. And I'm going to say now that the Raiders obviously are back in form despite what's going on. And I'm going to have to say, because the Eagles aren't that good of a team, that the Raiders are probably going to get the win here. I'm going to go out and say 27-10.
You and I are very close. It's funny. It's 3.4 point swing. I'm gonna go 24-14. But I'm gonna go with the same outcome. I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Dude, everybody shits on Derek Carr. And Derek Carr is an above-average quarterback in this league. I can't wait to see what Derek Carr does with a coach that isn't John Gruden. John Gruden, quite frankly, never liked him.
John Gruden had more control than he had in his first run with the Ravens. He had more control of everything. You know, he traded away a lot of the players, and you know, because he wanted his players in there.
And he was racist.
Yes.
Well, I mean, let's be fair, and this is the one.
And I made a video about the theory about the previous general manager before Mike Mayock came in there. That I felt that he kind of, you know, got him out because of that. Because I mean, what else could you say? I mean, he forced him to trade everybody. Here's my
other issue.
And then he fired him.
Delving too far in, I've never liked touching on the Colin Kaepernick issue because I did feel like outside of, I understand what he started, but I feel like the reason he doesn't have a job in the league actually does come down to talent. He's a guy who got figured out quickly, and he was not good his last couple of years. However, if you want to talk about racism being a real thing in the NFL, look no further than Marquette King not having a job. Marquette King still stays in shape, puts up videos of his workouts, and still should be one of the best punchers in the league. Yeah. The fact that he's a black puncher is the reason he doesn't have a job. And there's nothing else I have to say besides that. Yeah. Because that alone speaks the measures. And then you go on to see who John Gruden is, and the fact that John Gruden caught him and said there was a difference in attitude. No, man, you just didn't like him because of who he was.
Yeah,
however, huge fan of Derek Carr, huge fan of what this team can go forward. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say 8 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown for Hunter Renfrow leads this team going forward. Slot receiver Renfrow leads the Raiders over the Philadelphia Eagles 24-14.
24-14, you said? You said 24-14?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So 24-14 he's got. So next we have the Cincinnati Bengals against the Bengals. Oh. Download. Oh, hold on. Yeah, the Cincinnati.
Call has been forwarded to an automated.
What? Sorry about that. Oh, there you are. I don't know what happened.
I lost service sitting in my house.
Okay. Well, we're back. Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens
are 6.5.
6.5. Yep, that's what I got. 6.5 for the Ravens here. And you know, the Ravens right now are the team of the AFC North right now at this point, and it's so weird with them. You know, they killed the Chargers last week, and that really affected my fantasy team. But nonetheless, it's really weird because there are games where it like looks like they're gonna lose, and then they win, and then they have a game like that with the Chargers last week where you think, okay, it's going to be kind of competitive. The Chargers are playing pretty good. And then they destroy them. The Bengals are 4-2, surprisingly. And I, myself, didn't think they were going to do that good in the last couple of weeks. You know, the whole game with the Packers almost gave me a heart attack. But I think the Ravens probably will still win this game. But do not flinch on the Bengals. I think this might be a really close game. The Bengals are really surprising. And I think it's probably going to be a field goal game. I think the Ravens will probably win 27-24.
I'm going to go with the field goal game for the Bengals.
Ah, you went different.
I'm always going to share the Bengals, or on the Ravens. I don't buy into the hype. Their defense hasn't been good, and that's usually what carries them. If someone can sniff out and figure out Lamar, and also their number one running back's not playing this week in Latavius Murray. I'm gonna say, and it's gonna be an ugly game. Say 20-17, the Bengals pull it off in an upset in overtime. They finally kick a field goal proper.
Well, that's good they didn't do it against the Packers. That's all that matters with me. But yeah. Okay, so the next one, and I know you're gonna have some hatred for this team, but the team that they're playing against, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tennessee Titans. The Kansas City Chiefs are 4.5 favorites. The Tennessee Titans just came off of that win against the Bills last week in dramatic fashion, I would say. But nonetheless, still happened. But nonetheless, despite that, despite the Tennessee Titans were very explosive in that game, and looked pretty good, I think Kansas City gets the win here. Kansas City are the favorites, but I do believe that the Chiefs kind of get more back to form here. The Titans have been kind of in and out in some of these games. And I'm thinking right now that the Chiefs are probably going to give them more firepower in this game. And I think the Tennessee Titans are going to regress because it seems like they've been kind of back and forth in the way they've gone. It's quite interesting that I've noticed. And I think the Kansas City Chiefs will probably win this game. I'm going to say 28-14.
I'm going to go out and say things I never thought I would say in my life here. I've got the Titans going 38-31, winning the game.
Shootout. Interesting.
So here's the thing, man. Kansas City does not look good. They haven't. The defense isn't there. Patrick Mahomes is turning the ball over left and right. His mom's crying. His brother's doing TikTok dances. It's a little fuck. Dude, I'm disgusted by Jackson Mahomes. I'm going to take a side note here. Fuck that guy. How dare you? How fucking dare you do a TikTok dance on Sean Taylor's memorial? Go fuck yourself.
I agree. I'd agree that he shouldn't have done that.
But here's my thing. And when you said I'm going to have ill will, I don't. If I'm going to lose as a Bills fan, if I'm going to lose a game, at least I'm going to lose to a team that's a playoff team. I'm not a big Derrick Henry fan. I think that sometimes he's overhyped. But we lost fair and square. I get it, man. There were holding calls. You can cry. You can complain. The refs can't call everything. The Bills lost. It's that simple.
Yeah, and they went for. I mean, they could have kicked the field goal to force overtime. And you know.
I get why they went for when they did. Josh Allen was 8 of 9 on that exact rushing play. Josh Allen slipped in the backfield.
Yep.
Deion Dawkins got lit up. It was the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
It happens. You can't win it all. In the Super Bowl scenario, I guarantee you they take overtime. But, and this is my thing. The Chiefs secondary is awful. Ryan Tannehill can score when needed. Great. If Derrick Henry's running at the pace he was, and Ryan Tannehill can throw well enough, how do you beat the Titans when your defense is as bad as Kansas City's is? I will all day go 38-31. It pains me to say it. Titans pull off another victory. The Chiefs take another loss.
All right. Where? Oh, there we go.
Jets, Pats?
Oh, yeah. You got it. The Jets, the New York Jets at the New England Patriots. Patriots got 7 points here on the Jets. And I'm going to probably say that the Patriots will probably win. But I think it will be a close game. Patriots are very inconsistent, which is something I probably thought I would never say, but it is true. I'm going to say it's probably going to be a 17-10 victory for the Patriots. Close game.
Part of me wanted to go more, but I think that sounds right. I'll actually match your score on that. I'll go with the Patriots again. I am a huge Zach Wilson fan. Happened out of the draft. Unfortunately, the Jets are a tire fire of an organization. On top of that, their starting left tackle's missing. On top of that, half the receivers haven't been healthy all year. The Jets cannot put something in front of Zach Wilson. Mac Jones is exactly as I expected Mac Jones to be. He's a ball-handling quarterback who's been able to take advantage of the spots given to him. If the Jets light up or loosen up, Mac will kill them. And I think I can go with exactly the score you gave.
17-10?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so we actually matched scores for once.
I will agree with you on that. I wanted to go more, but I can't. Like, the Patriots have not been scoring much. Damian Harris might go for 125 yards, but that doesn't mean he's going to score multiple times. I mean, I could see Damian Harris getting one and Mac Jones scoring the other one to maybe Jacoby Meyer.
Yep.
And then a field goal, make it 17. So.
Yep. And next we have the Chicago Bears. And this is a 4:00 game. The Chicago Bears to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers. No surprise here. They got 11-point favorite to win this game, and I would have to agree. Tom Brady, the Bucs, they're pretty much unstoppable in most of these games that they've been playing. Even in the game they lost, I mean, they still put points up. And you got to put points up against this team if you're going to beat them, because Brady just doesn't look like he's going to slow down at any point. So if you're gonna beat them, you literally have to outscore them at this point. That's literally the only way it seems like you can beat them right now. I think Tampa and the Bears again. Justin Fields really has not played good. And yes, I know you noted earlier about they scored early on us, and they looked good in the beginning, but I knew during that game, even after he scored on that opening touchdown, I knew if Aaron Rodgers kept playing, that there was no way Justin Fields was going to be able to win that game, because Justin Fields is inconsistent, and that was what happened. He overthrew, he underthrew thrown balls, and he looked very sloppy in the game. I watched the whole game, obviously. He was very sloppy in the game, and you can't be...
You were angry and messaging me, and I was looking at polar bears in the suit.
But he was still sloppy. He was still sloppy in that game, and...
He's a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's sloppy right now. I mean, he's got to develop, but I mean, developing isn't going to work against someone like Tom Brady and the Buccaneers right now. And I can't see that happening at all. And so I got the Bucs winning. I got them putting up 36 to 14.
You want my wild call of the week?
What, you actually think the Bears are gonna win this?
I don't think the Bears are gonna win this.
What?
But I said I don't think.
Oh, you don't think they're gonna win it? I didn't hear that. All right.
I don't think the Bears are gonna win this, but let's be fair here, man. The Bears scored 14 against the Packers.
Yeah.
The Bucs have a worse defense than the Packers. I'm gonna say it's 27-21. Buccaneers win, but the Bears are not gonna let this just be a rout. The Bucs defense is not good. Darnell Mooney is gonna have a good day. Khalil Herbert's gonna look solid because they're gonna get him involved in the passing game. Yeah, Brady's gonna score probably 3 touchdowns, but the Bears defense is no pushover. The Bears just held Green Bay to 24. And I honestly, and Frank, I'm going to let you puff your chest here a little. If we're talking about the NFC, I don't value Tampa Bay that much higher than I would value Green Bay. To me, it's 1A, 1B. They're both very good teams.
Well, who do you have as the NFC's best team right now? The Cardinals?
Yes.
You have the Cardinals?
But that we still have to see if Tyler can stay consistent.
All right, so that was 27-21 you had. It's my 36-14 victory for me. But speaking of the Cardinals, actually, the next 4 o'clock game is actually the Houston Texans without Deshaun Watson versus the Arizona Cardinals. And the Cardinals have 18 points. And honestly, if you would have given them 25 points, I think they would have gotten that too.
Just round it off, give them 35, and I'll still take it.
Yeah, this game, this is gonna be a rout. I mean, this is gonna be, Tyrod Taylor's not playing, right, again, for this?
He's still not active.
Not active. So, yeah, I mean, there's, like, no chance here. David Mills is just, I mean, he had one good game against the Patriots, but he had terrible games before that. And, I see it happening here. I mean, he's going against a top NFC team.
Not even a top NFC team. The best scoring defense in the league.
We'll see about that later on in the season.
Arizona's defense has 2 of the better pass rushers. It's the revenge game for J.J. Watt. It's all of that. I'm gonna beat you this. I'm gonna go 42-6 Cardinals.
Well, I actually had 40 zip, but okay.
I'm not saying they're going to score touchdowns. We're going to go field goals here, but 42-6. Like I said, give me 35, and I'll still cover the spread.
Yeah, I say 40-0 though. I don't think Texans are going to score anything in this game, to be honest with you.
Listen, that's it for me. My daily fantasy this week, I'm rolling with Kyler Murray, Chase Edmonds. I am going Zach Ertz on a whim because he's cheap. And I'm going with the Cardinals defense.
Okay. Sunday Night Football. There we go. I was looking for it a second. I thought it was gone missing. Next, we have the Sunday Night Football game, which is the Indianapolis Colts versus the San Francisco 49ers. Garoppolo's back in the lineup.
Garoppolo is currently slated to start, correct?
Yes. So, the Niners are 4.5 favorites. This is probably going to be a close game. I'm going to play it safe and say that... What?
The underdog.
No. I'm going to say the Niners are going to win the game. I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be 21-14 victory for the 49ers. I don't trust the Colts. But we'll see. I still think it's going to be a close game, but I think the 49ers are better equipped right now, especially with, the line isn't that great for Indianapolis. And there's questions. I mean, TJ Hilton came back finally. T.Y. Hilton finally came back, but he's now questionable again in the lineup. So he had a good day, but it was against the Houston Texans. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
That's every year he has 2 good games every year, and they're both against Houston. We don't take those as more than a grain of salt. Fuck T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton, he's cool.
But, I'm going to go Indy 27, San Fran 17.
10-point victory.
10-point victory, leading running back on the team to be Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback.
All right.
Although Brandon Ayuk goes over 75 yards for the first time this season.
Okay. Monday Night Football.
Ugly.
We haven't even said who it was.
No. I know who it is, and the NFL could not be more disappointed. The NFL is that father who just found out their child smoked a cigarette for the first time, and they are just disappointed because they've put this team on primetime back-to-back weeks, and instead of getting what the team should be, they've gotten Geno fucking Smith.
Well, I mean, they had Russell Wilson for the beginning part.
No.
For the NFL Network game.
Oh, there's 3 straight primetime games. Holy shit.
Yeah. NFL Network still counts.
I forgot they were a Thursday nighter.
Yeah, that's when the injury occurred.
So,
That was when the injury occurred.
Three straight primetime games, and Geno Smith has been the fucking star.
Well, he wasn't the starter for the NFL Network game. He came in for him. He got injured in that game.
So gross.
Yeah. Geno, though, in that game, he did actually look pretty good, but then didn't exactly look good the next week. So, we have the New Orleans Saints at the Seattle Seahawks, as you can already guess. The New Orleans Saints are predicted to be the 4.5 favorites in the betting odds. And yes, as we said, Geno Smith is starting this game against Jameis Winston. Yeah, Jameis Winston. And I'm going to say that this game is going to be the Saints are going to win. But I don't know if it's necessarily by a lot, because I don't really trust the Saints to ever. I mean, the only game they did really good against, unfortunately, was my Packers game. But they haven't really done that much explosiveness in the passing game as much since then. And
you want to know why?
What are you going to say?
So, your Packers, you guys face the Saints at full strength with Eric McCoy at center and Teron Armstead at left tackle.
Well, and also, I just think I didn't think we did anything, really, to be honest with you, either.
But you also faced the strongest line the Saints had. And that game they lost McCoy, in the following game they lost Armstead. They've been without that offensive line for most of the season since the Packers game. This is the first game it's expected to have that full left side back.
Okay. I'm going to say that the Saints will win, but I got it as a 27-17 victory for the Saints. I think it will be a close game, but they'll get a little bit late spread out of there, and they'll just, run out the clock and win with a 10-point game. Basic game. I don't trust Geno Smith to get to get enough points to win the game. But I think he will be admirable in the game. But in the end, I think the Saints still get it done. Right now, they're just a better overall team right now without Russell Wilson in the lineup.
Give me 38-13 Saints.
Oh, wow.
Alvin Kamara is going to hurt a lot of you listeners come Tuesday morning on fantasy, because he's going to go sick for 3 touchdowns.
I'm glad I ain't playing him.
I'm glad I'm not against him either.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little more close than that. I think with the Saints, it is what it is. It's just, especially with Geno, and of course, Russell out. But they got that 12th man, though. They do have that 12th man whole home field thing, which could help as well. We know how that always with that crowd noise that they have over there. So that could be an edge for them too. Just putting that out there. But nonetheless, I still think the Saints will win in the end. And also, as I should note, we have a lot of teams on the byes: Jacksonville, Jaguars, Vikings, Chargers, Cowboys, Steelers, and the Bills all are on bye weeks. And that was the last of the games, as we noted, because it was Monday Night Football. So yeah, that is about it for the weeks for this week's predictions. Make sure to comment, rate. Make sure to hit the bell for all the latest. Subscribe and hit the bell for all the latest content to watch all the latest videos that come up on my channel. And make sure to comment down below and rate. Also, Kyle, your wing show, and you have your Fantasy Beast thing as well.
Yep, Fantasy Beast, and where to find them, the Fantasy Football Podcast, or hit us up at Spread Those Wings Chicken Wing Podcast. I actually just came from recording one of those episodes tonight. We hope that you guys jump on, give us a listen, give us some love, and hopefully start to enjoy our product.
Yep.
But Frank, I'm glad that you have me on, don't forget, hit that bell. Let Frank give you all of his updates.
Yep. And also, again, if you need fantasy advice, make sure to go to Fantasy Beat. So, again, those links will be in the description box as well for his stuff. And that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace!